Hello. Did you know that your 40s could be some of your most exciting years ever? Stay with me.
Dancing through the night, stronger, bolder, moving with grace, owning her story, she's setting the pace. Step by step, she's breaking the chains, living her life, she's changing the game.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my podcast, In Her 40s, Unleashing the Daniamite Experience. I'm very excited today. Today is a special episode for me. So allow me, please. I finally got my mother to do something out of her comfort zone. In fact, when she said yes, I was 100% surprised, but I'm so excited. So let's get into it. Welcome, Mommy. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you.
Today's episode is one I have been the most nervous about recording. Let me not lie to you guys. Not because I don't know my guests, but because I know my guests very well. My guest is my mom, Mama Tope, as I tend to call out this podcast, for those of you that have watched a few episodes. So yeah, my guest is my mom, Sunlola Dania. She's a Lagos entrepreneur, businesswoman, and she's been building things her whole life. She learned to run her business from her mom and her grandmother's knees. So she's basically been, I'll pretty much say she was born into being an entrepreneur. And she's been in trade ever since. She's raised 3 biological children and dozens of other children. And my mom is in her 60s, let me see, but she still looks good, you know?
Late 60s.
I should say late 60s. So in case, by the way, I told you people that we are looking for a boo for her. So you have seen her now, in case. And this is the first time that we're going to be sitting across ourselves like this for the very first time. Today we're having a conversation that a lot of mothers and daughters need, but rarely get the chance to have. The honest one. The one about what changes between a mother and her daughter when the daughter becomes a woman. That's me. What heals and what still needs to be said. So once again, welcome, Mama Tope.
Thank you.
Welcome to our show. You see, my mom is shy. You can see that I'm the opposite. So I think maybe first thing, let's even ask, how does it feel to be here?
I feel good. I feel excited. I really do, but because I want to please you, that's otherwise. This is not me.
Eh? What do I tell you? Yeah. But we are bringing it out of our shell, small. So personally, like I said, I was a bit nervous, but also excited. So it was a lot more like nervous excitement. Number one, not just because I'm pulling my mom out of her comfort zone, but also because this conversation is not rehearsed. So it's pretty much from the heart. So we're just talking as not just mother and daughter, but 2 women sharing maybe life experiences and sometimes talking about things that we've both experienced as, of course, as a family, so to speak. So yeah, I'm excited. So let's get into it. Let's start first of all by saying, who is Sunlola Dania? I would say not as anybody's mother, but as an individual.
Thank you. Sunlola Dania, it's an introvert, not really, because it depends on if I get to know the person or the people I'm with, I can be talkative too. But a lot of times I tend to listen a lot before responding to whatever. I was born and raised by my grandmother and my great-grandmom, and their souls all rest in perfect peace.
Amen.
So being raised by elderly people, you really have to comport yourself wherever and in whatever. So maybe because of that, a lot of times I tend to listen and just watch as it's going. So that's me.
So you people see where my people watching came from. Yes, I'm an observer as well. It's just that me, I have my own coin to add to it. So I would say My first dear mom moments is I want to say something. I don't know if I've ever told you, but I want to say something that I genuinely am grateful for. I'm grateful to God that you are my mother. I don't think anybody else, I'll get emotional now. I don't think anybody else could have mothered me, to be honest. So I'm genuinely grateful to God that you are my mother.
Also grateful to God that you are my daughter.
Yes, I'm special. So I would ask, you grew up in, I'd say, in Lagos Island, when Lagos Island was Lagos Island. Some of the stories we grew up hearing, we can't relate because the Lagos Island that we see today is not the same as what you grew up with. So can you talk us through how things were back then?
You know, the population now has grown a lot, tremendously. That's why it's not the same the way it was then. Then it was like a close-knitted family. Everybody knows each other. And there's no way you can be wayward or you can misbehave without your parents getting to know. Even before your parents get to know that, oh, we, like for instance, they met you somewhere, they meet me, Sunlola somewhere. Maybe you're talking to a boy and as an underage person, they will now twist my ear and use my 2 ears
To
to
drag you.
drag me up to my grandmother or my parents. And on getting home, they will be so pleased. They won't even talk because they will be so happy that, thank God, we were not able to see all this, but somebody else is seeing it and reprimanding the daughter or be the person. But now, people don't do that anymore. In fact, if someone wants to reprimand your child or your children, you are not pleased. A lot of people are not pleased. But that shouldn't be the case. So that's what Lagos, the difference between today's Lagos and yesteryear's Lagos is all about.
So
And the
sense of
population
community.
too. Yes, the population has really outgrown that, you know, a lot of people tend to come into Lagos every hour. I'm sure some people are getting ready to come to Lagos tonight to be there tomorrow morning.
Definitely. Interesting. I think maybe I would almost say 80s children got a little bit of that in terms of that sense of community growing up. The neighbors looked out for each other, family looked out for each other. In fact, there are times where if you are being reprimanded or punished at home, you are praying no auntie or uncle walks in because the next thing is, Tope, what did you do? If it was me, I would have, and you're like, oh God, who is this? Who is this? Who told this person to come at this time? But of course, things are changing. And I think that would be interesting to watch for someone in your generation because you're now seeing how things have sort of changed over the years. So I would ask another question. You grew up running your mom's business. So you've always understood running a business and you've always handled responsibility when it came to, I'd say, money, trade, and things like that. What did that teach you about yourself before you were anybody's wife or anybody's mother?
Well, I grew up running my grandmom and my mom's business. That's a fact. Well, it teaches me, it broadens my horizon towards trading. So, as a child growing, I never wanted to work for anybody, even though I did secretarial studies. I never one day worked with anybody or with my secretarial certificate. So, I've always been in trading because that was what I was raised up with, and I didn't go to any school of trading, but from when you buy 1 naira, you sell 2 naira, and you learn to keep some of the money, your profit. You don't eat up to, into all your profit. So, as a result, I'm happy being an entrepreneur.
Okay, so the I would say in learning those things, what did that teach you about yourself in terms of how you apply to life in general from what you've learned from trading?
Well, I think with that, what I've learned about life is slow and steady because with trading, it is slow and steady. is not something that when you buy stuff today, you might not be able to sell everything at a go. So before that finishes, you have to buy more, and you have to be, you just have to exercise patience in trading. Trading is not about buying it now and you're selling everything at the same time. So you have to exercise patience. So that has taught me that it is slow and steady that wins the race.
Yes. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So I'd say when you had us, myself, Kaede and Sheung, what did motherhood demand of you that you might not have been prepared for?
Like when I had you being the first child,
Yes.
I wouldn't say I was, looking forward to motherhood. And then I had all hands on deck. Everybody was so excited about me being, wanting to be a mother. So all my aunties, everybody, I would say all my family, they were all solidly behind me and they gave me a real helping hand, which I really appreciate.
Oh, okay. So
In fact, it was one of the reasons that made me not to have my children abroad, because then my uncle, that's my mom's twin brother, even as a child, has always told me, Sulola, hey, there's no, how will I put it now, that going abroad is nothing. It is good, but it's just for you to go on holidays and come back. Don't even think about wanting to go and school there or anything, because there is no helper. You have to fend for your. No, he has always discouraged me about going abroad. And when I grew up wanting to have a child, then he even said, look, if you go abroad to have your child, there's nobody to help. And it's exactly what is happening now.
Sure.
Like when people go for Omugo, you are just there with your daughter, your son, and the grandchild. You'll be the only one to do everything. Unlike when you have it here in Nigeria, all hands will be on deck. Even some people will come, they are ready to volunteer themselves for days, some for weeks. Oh, it depends on your relationship with the people. So I was prepared, and thank God it all went very well.
Okay, so I would ask a question. You had us pretty much back to back. Was that the plan, or it just sort of happened like that?
No, that wasn't the plan. It just happened.
Okay, okay. So I would say from my end as a mom, what do you think you sacrificed that people might not have seen or might not have noticed or even maybe even acknowledged?
For your child or children, I mean, I as a mom, nothing is too much to sacrifice. Nothing is too much to sacrifice.
So even if we didn't acknowledge it, you're okay with it?
I'm fine.
Okay. You see, you have to be selfless as a mother.
You don't have to acknowledge it, as long as a mom, for me, as a mom, you really don't need to be drumming it into the ears of your children or your child. Oh, la 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 la, I've done so much. No, for me, it doesn't really matter. It's nothing I even think about. I have to do it, I've done it, and that is it. And I just pray to God that they too will experience motherhood, and that's the way it should roll.
Amen.
That's the way it should roll.
Amen. So I would say hearing that from you, like I said, some of these things, maybe we've never said it outrightly. We might show it in actions, but especially as Nigerians, we're not necessarily very emotional per se. But in our actions, we know that, oh, this person does this or this person. But I would say from my part is that we see a lot of the things that you went through. We see or we saw a lot of the things that you had to sacrifice for us, and we appreciate it genuinely. So we might not necessarily say it, but we appreciate it. And hopefully you also see the results or the reward of that sacrifice when you look at us today as adults. Semi-adults sometimes, but yes, as adults.
Yeah. We thank God for everything. Because even there are some mothers that really want to do it, but for one reason or the other, they are not meant to do it. I mean,
They're not
they
able to
don't
do
have,
it.
they are not able to do it.
That's true.
So for everything that you have done, if I have to do it, it doesn't even matter whether because of my children, anybody that I feel that is in their need of something that I can give just like that, I'm ready to do that any day, anytime, because that's me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. So I'd ask a personal question now. When did you first notice that me, Temitope, has become a woman? When did you notice like this girl is no longer a child? She's now becoming her own woman.
I can't really tell, but I mean, you might feel that you are no longer a child, but I still, well, I still see you as my child, and that's the
Definitely.
way I will forever see you. So whether you are 100 years old, whether you are 1,000 years old, that's your own kettle of fish. As far as I'm concerned, she's still my child, irrespective of her age.
Okay, okay. So you see, I'm baby you. So if I do baby things, she's the one that say I'm baby you. So yes, I'm the baby of, okay, I'm not the baby of the house actually, but I told I'm the only girl, so I kind of feel like the baby too sometimes. So I'd say for you raising a girl child, for example, what was the hardest part or hardest thing for you to let go of as a mom?
For raising a girl child, as at the time we were growing up, you were not the only girl in the house, even though you are my own biological daughter. But I just see that i- it's a bit one can't afford to be overprotective. You have to let her go and discover herself. The only thing is one should just be prayerful, and you let go of everything. You let go, you put everything in the hands of God, because
Yeah.
there's no amount of protectiveness that is enough. But at the same time, for instance, you were in the boarding school, so I'm sure there are a lot of pranks that is being played there. I'm not there to see it. So why will I now be giving myself unnecessary aggro? Something that you are not seeing, you are just imagining. I don't imagine such nasty things. I just leave everything. Look, let it be. And we thank God.
I was a good girl, semi good girl. So I think from my side, to be fair, and I think I've mentioned it in a few episodes, I was fortunate. I was fortunate in the sense that I had a mom that allowed me make my own mistakes. I told you people I had different colors of hair. Sometimes I'll just come back home. My mother is like, Kitu lele. Like, what's this again? Maybe I've dyed my hair pink or green or something. But in as much as she didn't necessarily understand it, she just allowed it like when you are tired, you will outgrow it by yourself. Of course, there were times that she didn't let me hear the last of it. So every time she'll be like, this your hair is not even fine, safe. Ribo sheri ni. Are you not seeing it? And I'm like, please leave me. Me, I like it. But I was lucky. I was allowed to express myself in different ways until I found my own voice, I would say. So that's why I can be this confident person. That's why I can be this outgoing, bubbly person. Because my mom allowed me. And yeah, and it's not just me. It was, like I said, me and my siblings. So it was that environment, knowing that I was safe, but at the same time protected. Because as much as, of course, you can't overly protect your children, you also want them to know that if they mess up, they can still come back home to, they can run back home, so to speak, so that it was always a safe space, regardless. And I think that's what made the difference, because there was always that guarantee that even if, yes, I know she would chastise me, reprimand me, or whatever, But there was never any hesitation on my part that, mommy, I fucked up. Oh, this is what happened. Oh, how are we going to do it? What are we going to do about it? And I think that's still true till today, So I genuinely appreciate that one. Appreciate it. So I'll ask this question. I think some of my audience might know my own answer, but I'll ask from your side. Was there any moment where you feel like our relationship changed for the better?
Mm. I don't understand that question.
Okay, so as mother and daughter, do you think there was any moment that our relationship sort of shifted?
Because, as time goes by, you are getting older too. You're having more sense and you are seeing things. So, naturally, it has to change for the better.
Definitely, I agree. So me, I have dates. I've mentioned it before in my episode. Mine was COVID period. And I said it because that was the first time that we're actually getting to gist a lot. Because pre-COVID, I was barely at home. If I'm not at work, I'm hanging out somewhere. I'm going to one friends. I'm always out and about. I was that child with pink cushion. My mom is always like every day, hey, joko so joko. Meaning you can't sit still in one place. Yes, I was that child. So I think for the first time in a long time, COVID made all of us be still, so to speak. So for, for the first time, I didn't have anywhere to run away to. So I was at home pretty much. So outside of doing like work, virtual meetings and stuff, it was just largely my mom and I at home because my brothers had moved out of the house, so it was basically just us in the house. So we genuinely had a lot of time to gist and talk, and not just gist as mother and daughter, but gist as two women. So I think that was for me when I feel like our relationship sort of shifted because we sort of got to experience each other as people, not just my daughter or my mother. And I think you also started to see me as a woman in her own rights. Totally people are obsessed. So, okay. So that's it for me on my own part. That's when I feel like our relationship sort of changed.
Okay.
So I'd say, are there any things or any topics that you feel like maybe we never really spoke about?
Mm, not really. We might not, most topics, we might not talk about it into details like the nitty-gritty of the topics, but we usually talk about almost everything.
Okay. So on my side, yeah, I think to a large extent, mainly most things. I told you people sometimes, even when I was to gossip, I'll say, mommy, guess what happened? Yes. I remember when I was younger, to get out of serving punishments, if I come back from party late, I always used to use gist to distract my mom. So when I come back, before she starts shouting, I say, mommy, guess what happened? That party, that's how some boys started fighting. So we get carried away and she forgot. And she just says, is that why you came late? I'll sidetrack her. So well, on my part, it was sort of, that was the plan. But she would not know that this Omo, she just came.
Okay, now I know.
Now you know it was too late at the time. So in my head, I'm already like, look at the time. Maybe I was supposed to be home at 9 o'clock and it's now like 10:30 or 11. I'm like, how to that one story? So that will not be my fault. And at the same time, it's like, I want more Isha. Yes. But to be fair, like I said, I don't think I went through any phase. As much as, of course, like any child growing up, it's not everything you did that you could talk to your parents about. But I think to a large extent. And there was one thing you always used to say then, that even if you can't tell me where you're going, at least make sure your brothers know. One person should at least know where you're going. So you might tell me, I'm going to Ikoyi Fatima's house, but maybe you are branching somewhere else. Let your brothers know. So you might not want to tell me, but at least let your brothers know. And I think that's something that sort of stayed with me even till now as an adult, that somebody has to know where you are, even if not for anything, just for safety. God forbid anything happens. They can say, oh, the last thing she told me was she was going to Ikeja, or she was going to, as against it being, I don't know where she went, or I've not seen her for 3 days kind of thing. And I feel like even as an adult, even not necessarily having anybody that I owe explanations, I still feel like that's the responsible thing to do as an adult, and it stayed with me. So let me ask one hard question. Is there anything that you think I did or that I chose to do in life that was hard for you to accept?
What you are doing right now?
I was waiting for it.
What we're doing right now, the first time you told me and I saw it, I said, what is the meaning of this? And I said, I was saying to myself, what is the meaning of this? Why will you now, what makes you to go on the air and start talking about yourself? It was after a friend of mine, she saw it and she called me and we got talking and said, Sunlola, Shotiri Tope, blah, 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 blah. I said, yes. Is that not nonsense? Only, mama. Why will you say that? That is very good. I say, what's good in it? You say, Sunlola, come on. You are still, I say, it was after she educated me. And I just decided to say, okay, let her be.
So you can see the progression from what's all this nonsense. So now she's here sitting on air and talking.
No, it was because she said, no, you have to encourage her.
Yeah.
And I really wanted you to be happy doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
That's why I said, otherwise, I don't think no Jupiter will make me come and sit and be talking. No. That's not me. But I want you to be happy, and I see that you are happy doing what you're doing.
Definitely.
And after spoken to my friend, and she said, Sunlola, no, there's nothing wrong in it. It's good. That it is very, very good. You have to encourage her. I said, okay.
So you see, yeah, we're here. We're here now. So I remember, I can't remember what it was that I posted. My mom called me early Saturday morning, said, Kini bobo pala pala. I said, Mommy, what did I post? Maybe food or something. I'd gone out for dinner and I had posted. She was like, no. Must everybody know what you ate? So for her, you have to also understand that there are I won't necessarily say old school mentality, because there are people her age that do what young people do. For her, it's more like, you don't necessarily have to put everything out there. So it's like, oh, I'm going to the gym. You're already doing gym time. Next thing, food time. And you're taking pictures and you're doing. So it's more like, it's overexposure. And I totally get it. And then even the people that know me know I'm not necessarily that person, which is why for me, having a podcast is still me being in control of what I share and how I share it. And I think more importantly is the fact that I'm clear about why I'm doing it. I'm not doing it because I just want to put myself out there. I'm doing it because I genuinely believe that people can learn from some of the things I talk about. And that's what life is all about, all of us pouring into each other. So me not doing this for a long time, I think I'd spoken about it, was also because I was afraid of putting myself out there. But it was something that just never stopped in my head. And I felt very compelled to do it. So it's almost like when you keep praying to God and asking for direction, and He's directing you, but you refuse to go in the direction that He's directing you. So eventually, I just decided not to fight it. It's like, what's the worst that can happen? I'll go down this path and maybe I won't like it or maybe I won't enjoy it. But to be honest, I've genuinely enjoyed it and it's been very therapeutic for me as well. So, hey, and like you see, my mom said she can see that I'm happy doing it. So yeah, people who should bring money, sponsor so that the happiness can be doubled. But to be honest, I think part of it, and that's why I said I appreciate the fact that even when you don't understand some of the things that I do, you allow me do it. Not just that you allow me do it, but you also support me in it. So yes. So me, I wanted to say something. I was gisting my one of the podcast episodes when I was talking about when I used to do small chops and catering. I was gisting them about one contract that we got that Uncle Ilomo helped us to get. When we got to he said, come and collect money. And we got there. And I started grumbling. We have been here for 2 hours. Shebi they're the ones that say we should come and collect the money. What's going on over here? And you just say, Mojo, please, if you want to go, be going. I beg, I beg. I'm tired of you complaining. And me too, very foolishly, I carried my bag and I went home. And then you came back home, you had collected the money, went about doing the entire contract. I think it was for
Yes.
3 days or something.
Yes.
Then when we finished, I guess we meeting that we should do accounts. He said, which account?
Yes, ma, we're not in it together. Mm-hmm.
So if people see that I'm not lying, she said, which account? Say, maybe you were too tired to wait to collect the money. That means you've lost the contract now. So if I was not there with you, that's how you'd have worked out on collecting your money.
That's why I told you, being in business, you have to exercise a lot of patience.
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
a gradual thing. You really have to be patient because everything cannot happen at the same time. And that's what is lacking nowadays. Everybody feels that it has to be automatic. There is no shortcuts.
True.
No shortcuts through life.
True. Absolutely. Even God is not a God of shortcuts. Because in as much as he can tell you that you will be blessed and we bless you, that's a guarantee. What we don't know is the when or even the how. So you have to just stay in faith and believe that
it will happen.
Yes, things would happen.
Yes.
So for me, that was a very unforgettable experience, I would
Really?
say. Yes, and I'll say unforgettable because it stuck. And it was more the fact that really and truly, there was nothing I was going to do at home. I was just bored of sitting down in ministry office. Nothing was happening. There was even no television to watch. And I was just there with some old women. So in my mind, I'm like, at least if I'm at home, I can be watching TV. Pretty much. Forgetting that this was a job that it was a very lucrative contract. Like I said, it's a 3 days contract for over like 1,000 people or so.
1,002.
Every day. So you can imagine the volume of that kind of business. And I was bored and I wanted to go home. So if Mama Tope was not there, that's how they'd have given that money to somebody else. So you see how life is. So that's why I'm like, it stayed with me because every time it reminds me of the fact that things don't always go your way, no matter how much you plan it. Exactly. And I think, of course, I was much younger, but it was also that I felt like I should be the ones that told us to come at this time. If they knew they were not ready for us, why did they tell us to come at this time? But as I'm older now, by far, those kind of things cannot catch me unawares again because now I know that even when someone gives you a particular time, something can happen between when he told you and that actual time. And you might not even remember to call you to say, oh, sorry, things have changed, come later.
Exactly.
And it's just, like I said, it's one of those things that stays with you, but you don't realize it stays with you because that lesson was learned. If she had given me the money from that contract, I might not have learned that lesson. But because she did not give me, I learned the lesson. I learned it the hard way. I learned it. I think maybe she dashed me 20K or 10K or something. I can't even remember. After like 2 weeks, she just pitied me and said, so it will not be as if me for any cocoa to take. I said, in my brain, I was already calculating all the money. That I did not wait to collect. So you see the way life is. May we not be the ones to, how they say, to pursue our blessing by ourselves. But I'll boil it down to maybe youthful exuberance. But I'm older and wiser now. I always say the only place that can ginger me if money is involved, I will get up and go, no matter how I'm feeling.
Sometimes it's not all about money. It could be that you be somewhere that you meet somebody that might change your story entirely.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
necessarily, money is not all to it.
Oh
in
yeah.
life.
Oh yeah. Money is not everything. It's sometimes it's even just the opportunities. Like you said, you don't know who you'd meet that can now just be the catalyst for everything else changing. So let me see. I would ask a question. This is more a generic question. What do you think is the line between a supportive mother and an overprotective mother? Someone that is being supportive or they are being overly nosy into their child's life.
No. Well, I think it's not a good thing to be nosy into your child's life, because it will get to a stage that you might be disrespected, because you have to know your boundaries. There must be a set boundaries. In as much as you want to know everything that is going on in their lives, if they decide to tell you, fine. If they decide not to tell you, it's okay. But there is still going to, you if you like pretend, they are still coming back to you. Because like the Yoruba saying that says, "Ọ̀rọ̀ ta ní kí bàbá má gbọ́, bàbá náà ló máa parí ẹ̀." Meaning something that you say father or baba should not hear is still going to be the one to resolve the matter. So it is better for you to stay in your space. When they need you or when they want you for a particular thing, they call on you, you attend to it, and you pretend as if you don't see beyond what you are being shown. That's me. No, it's true.
Okay, so let me ask, and this is particular to, I would almost say our scenario. Did you really know some of the things that we were up to in the house when we were younger, like sneaking out for parties and all those
Yes,
kind
I
of things?
do. Most of it, yes. But hey, you see, if you say everything you want to see, because of the respect they have for you as a mother or as a parent, and they are hiding some certain things from you, just leave it at that. If they get burnt, they will come back to you. Then you say, well,
I told you.
I told you, or I knew this was going to happen. But if at that time you are preventing them from doing it, sometimes it doesn't end well. Because you get to a stage when you try to like overreact, they go elsewhere. Like when you guys were growing up, I allowed you to bring in your friends.
Yeah.
All your friends, all the male friends, all the girlfriends, they come, especially your brothers, they bring in their friends. At any given time, we are not less than 10 in the house, and we all eat from the same pot. Because I don't want you to go out and be exposed to some things that are not godly and that evil. That's why I say, bring your friends. At least their parents do know where they are. And so that's the way I see it. You don't have to, it's not necessary. To me, it's not necessary.
Also, I told you people.
No,
So let me ask now, what have I taught you about yourself as a woman, as a person, not as a mother? Like something you maybe understood about yourself watching me grow into this woman that I am, or this woman that I'm becoming.
to him, I don't understand.
Okay, so have you seen
Simplify
things
it.
in myself that you might say, oh, maybe she got this from me?
Mm, it's a lot of things, because I mean, it's not that I'm a nonchalant person, but I just see, I take things as it comes. I'm not, I'm not an aggressive person, and it's not like a do or die affair for things. So just let it be. What will be, will be. So, and I see, and I can perceive that in you, and that makes me happy. That it's not that one should not be, I don't even believe in being aggressive towards anything, because like I said, slow and steady wins the race.
See where my sense came from. So, okay, so I should ask this question. Right now, in this season of our lives, what does our relationship look like? What does it feel like?
The relationship is good. Feel like wow, yeah.
So, okay, let me say my own. So for me, it's a combination. So on one hand, it feels, of course, it feels good. It's is also, like I said, is one of the things I'm continuously grateful for, because I have relationship as you as my mom and you as my friend, which is not something that maybe a lot of people have. So for me, that's what it feels like currently. Like we're friends, but we're still mother and daughter. So that's what it feels like for me. So over to you.
I feel the same way. I mean, at least, like you said, sometimes we gossip about people. Yes, which is natural.
Yeah.
And you see, that gossip is a healthy one for you to know what some people, how life is.
Yeah.
That's why I tend to, when we gossip about, about people, we gossip about ourselves too, and we gossip about people too, so that for you to know that, look, all these things is just for you to be on guard towards people,
To learn
to
from.
learn.
Yeah. Okay, so if from this conversation, if you want to say there's one thing that you want to tell me that I can carry going forward, what would that be? I don't know. So if you want to advise me now to say, okay, oh, seeing where you are now and hopefully maybe where you are going, this is one advice that I would like you to. It can be something that maybe you've told me before or something you just want to remind me of or something you've never told me.
I will only tell you that you have to be consistent. You have to be straightforward, and you have, first and foremost, you have to be God-fearing. What you don't want people to do to you, you should not do to others. Not that one is an angel, but having said that, in any dealings, in anything with anybody, always turn around the hand of the clock and ask yourself, if I'm nasty to this person, will I want somebody to be nasty to me? In as much as you don't want people to treat you like that, you don't treat others like that. And you have to be consistent. You have to be loyal in anything that you do, because it doesn't matter whether you are loyal to somebody and the person is not loyal to you, just be yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I love it. I love it. So, okay, let me say my own. I don't even know what I want to say, but let me say more of what I think I have gotten watching you as my mom. And I think one of the biggest things is still what you just said, actually, is to treat people the same way you'd like to be treated. And growing up, that was always something that it was never a sometimes she's like this, sometimes she's like this. She's the same person, regardless of who she's relating with, whether she's relating with a security man or one carpenter down the road or one senator or whoever the person is. My mom is the same person through and through. And I think that's where I've sort of gotten that vibe of respecting people. It's second nature. It's not something that you try to do or try to be. It's just something that should be a part of who you are. So that's one of the biggest things I've learned watching my mom. So I rarely say that I have, it's not even really, I don't have role models. I might like or admire things about people, different things about different people. So you might say, oh, maybe I like this person's work ethic, or I like this person's the way they dress sense. I like the way they carry themselves. But I can't ever say I've had anybody that will say, oh, this is my role model. Because you really don't know what people are doing behind closed doors. You only see the face that they want you to see, But if I would say that I have a role model, it would be my mom. And that's because I know her inside out. So I know that she's who she says she is. she's not putting up a facade or she's not putting up a front. If you come and meet her in her house, she's the same person. The way my mother is dressed like this, if you come to the house, that's how she's dressed. And I'll be like, are you going anywhere? You say, no. I say, so why are you dressed? He say, in case anybody comes in, no. And I'm like, wow. I'm not like that. But just saying that. So for me, genuinely, I feel like that's something that stayed with me as a person in terms of being true to myself and respecting myself and respecting others. It's as simple as. It's like a non-negotiable. So, final question. Final. We're almost done. Thank you. I did not know you will last this long, but thank you. So, last question for both of us. What would you like our relationship to look like in maybe 10 years?
It will be better than this by the
Amen.
grace of God.
Amen.
So, in the next 10 years, we will all have grown older, more sense, more wealth,
Amen.
more wisdom
Amen.
by God's grace. So,
That's it. Okay. Same thing that she said. Hopefully, there'll be babies for her to be doing omugo with.
that's not a
It's
problem.
part of it. Yeah. So, guys, I think I don't know if there's anything else that I wanted to ask that I did not ask. I've asked all my questions for now. But I would also say, let me see. Let me release her for today.
No, it's okay.
No, I'm trying to think if there's anything that I want to ask that I might not have asked for now. Yeah. I told you people, my babeness is from my, you can see. My babeness, I got it from her. Any stylishness I have, it's Mama Tope's fault. Otherwise, I'd have been a tomboy. Oh, yes, let me ask question. Let me ask this question. So growing up as a child, was I a troublesome child?
Not really, no.
Not really, sometimes.
No, not really. It's just that no. It's just that as a child growing, I just remembered you are fixed. You know what you want, and you are always very outspoken. Like when like very tender age. I think that day we went to one celestial church with a friend of mine, and you went with us, and we went with a friend. And when they were now say shout hallelujah, you said, èmi ò ń ṣọmọ hallelujah o, baby. And you know what you
How
want.
old was I?
Maybe 6, 7.
Oh, wow. I can't remember.
Sọ pé èmi ò ń ṣọmọ hallelujah o. Like, I'm a Muslim, mi ò ń ṣọmọ hallelujah.
Yeah, I told you people as a Muslim. You see? Evidence.
Mi ò ń ṣọmọ hallelujah. It's not, you might not be a practicing Muslim, but that does not take it away from you.
Oh, yeah,
that,
definitely.
So, that's it.
Because at the end of the day, I think for me, and that's why I said I was fortunate that I had a mom like you. Because some of these things, it's like when I came and I told my mother I don't have religion, she said, what does that mean? How can you say you don't have religion? I said, no, I believe in God. I did not say I'm stop believing in God. I'm just trying to figure out, let me remove from this whole one is right, one is not right, and just try and find God on my own terms. Not a lot of parents can, not a lot of people can have those kind of conversations with their parents. But because I knew that my mother would pretty much, even if she didn't understand it, she would just say, okay. Okay. Knowing fully well that whatever I found out, I will still come back and say, this is the one I saw, or this is what I did not experience, kind of stuff. So I've always maybe had that confidence that I had that backing. So maybe that's why I could go out and be more adventurous than she is. I could go out and explore more. I could go out and make mistakes because I knew that I had that 100% support, 100% backing. It was non-negotiable. Like, it wasn't even a conversation to say maybe, maybe not. It was guaranteed. No matter how badly you mess up outside, it still has that you will go back to and say, by yourself, you will kneel down and say, Mommy, I want to confess. And I think, like I said, that gave me the freedom to be. That gave me the freedom to discover myself. That gave me the freedom to make my own mistakes without feeling like I was disappointing you or anything like that. So, yes, I'm grateful and I love you for it. Thank
Me too.
you.
Mhm. Yes.
So, my people, thank you very much for being here. I've had a fantastic time gisting with my mom. As you can see, she's the shy one, me. I remember one time I went for Lagbaja. I came back and I told my mom that they threw me on stage to come and dance Coco below. Mother said, Ibo Muti Romo, you say which kind? Because my mom does not dance at parties ever. Me, I'm the one that is dancing from the minutes that we enter. And as long as the music is good, drinking champagne, mother say, Otito. I'll be like, Mommy, we are in party. Let's enjoy ourselves. So yeah, that's me. I can see why I can be like that because I have this calm Iroko tree solidly behind me. So me, I can afford to be blowing like a beautiful leaf or flower in the wind. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you same time next week. Love you. Bye.